What's up, everybody? Alright, so I just came on. Well, I didn't tell anybody I was coming on here, so if we see some people in here, cool. If not, alrighty then. What we got here? Oh, I'm looking at a receipt. Fun times. Where? Okay, hold on here. I think this is working. What's up, Rated R Superstar J King? What's going on? How you doing? Welcome. Just telling people, showing people that I'm alive. I've been making a lot of videos, or I've been making videos without my face, and I haven't been live streaming as much. So I just wanted to come on here and say hello to all you fabulous people. How's it going? How's it hanging? How we doing? We doing all right? What time is it? I don't have a script. What's up, Khalid? Samson. Okay. I'm not commenting on that match that you continuously talk about, Rated R Superstar. That is back in the day. We are okay. So let's talk. I'm gonna wait till maybe some more people come in here. What's up, Scott? How you doing? Well, my dragons. I got my Smallville poster. Someone was like, "That is cringe." I'm like, you know what? Go somewhere else then. No, I'm just playing. You can stay if you want to. But I mean, these are my shows when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You got this is the show. That's Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sing like a bird. Well, my dragon, Samson. I got Becky Lynch's book up here. Who's got that? So much is happening in the wrestling world. I mean, I miss you guys. I know I said I was gonna be back tentatively at some point, but it's not looking as. I don't have a definite date, but I do want to come back here in live stream. What's up, Lorenzo? You like my background? Thank you. Somebody save me. That is Smallville. Great live. Well, thank you, King Morgan. How you doing? You love wrestling? That's what's up. Okay, I want to talk about. There's so much that I have yet to cover here. I mean, I've covered it, but not on a live stream and with people. I don't have my computer out right now, so if I see streaming going on or comments, if I miss your comment, I'm sorry. Is this for real? Are you staying on for Dynamite? What's up, Wilson? How are you? This is not a Dynamite stream. I want to be at Dynasty. I mean, I plan on it. I mean, Lord willing, right? Or whatever you believe in. But for me, I'm like, because you just, what do they say? Who are you to plan the future? Hey, let me stop. Like, what is she talking about? I want to talk about this Bray Wyatt documentary. That's why. Okay, let me talk about things here. So, Bray Wyatt. Okay. So much has happened in the wrestling world that I'm going to say Bray Wyatt's. Okay, he passed. Was it August 24th? I'm sorry, I don't know the exact date. And that was really hard. I mean, for me, it still is. I mean, it's hard to believe it happened. I mean, it's still, you feel like he's just gonna show up. I know it's weird. Like, it's a weird feeling. You feel like, because he was gone for so long, and then he returned. It's like, I know it sounds weird, but I feel like he's like, I know it's just hard. Anyways, I just wanted to say that. I mean, I took that hard. I mean, when Bray Wyatt passed, I don't even know the gentleman, so I can't even speak for his family, his friends, his brothers and sisters. But let's talk about this documentary, okay? Because they celebrated Bray Wyatt's life on SmackDown, and I was just, if you were here, Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt had a tribute, and it was emotional. I'm not a big fan of myself crying on camera. Not a fan. I don't know what I'm saying. But I'm just like, I'm not really, I don't like to cry that much on, but I feel like I just I let y'all see my reaction. Because usually, I'll do, like, okay, anyway, so I watched the documentary, and I didn't cry for, like, I didn't cry right away, because I was like, but seeing that just shows you why Bray Wyatt was loved throughout the wrestling world, because I'm going to talk about him for a while, because I mean, Bray Wyatt was he was special, and we knew it as people who watched. We knew Bray Wyatt was, he just had something, you know. It's just something that, and it's just like it just shows you like behind the scenes where we actually hear Bray Wyatt speak about his character and like creating it and his vision. And obviously we don't hear everything, but we heard great bits and pieces of him and why he, you know, it's just, that's why we love him, because he made it important. He put detail in his character. He literally he gave us Easter eggs all the time, and he knew that's, you know, he made it important. He made what he, like, almost everything that he did had a reason. And that's why as people who watch, people who support him, that's why we cared about him, because we were like, he's special, you know. And he was sorry, I'm trying to talk. I was just, you know, I didn't like whenever he first arrived, I wasn't able to watch like regularly all the time. I had times where I was, you know, if you're wrestling, I started watching it in the 90s when it was like Austin, Rock, and then, you know, life happens where you're not always able to watch every second of wrestling. You know, there was a time period where it was right around time, no disrespect to John Cena, but it was right around that period when he was like, you know, like the champion all the time. I didn't watch it as much as, you know, I've always cared about wrestling, knew who the champ was, knew who's like what's going on with Wrestlemania, the Royal Rumble, stuff like that. But I would hear about this Bray Wyatt, you know, I'd hear about this guy who, like, I forget the first time I ever heard about Bray. And then I remember being like so intrigued, and I remember the Wrestlemania with the Undertaker and Bray Wyatt, and then his moment with The Rock, and just going back and learning about the Wyatt family. What's up, Scoop Steve? Learning about the Wyatt family, and just learning about, you know, there's a lot of NXT stuff. I followed NXT Black and Gold. I started watching like right around the time, like doing live streams. Right around the time it was like Ciampa, Adam Cole, you had Gargano, right around that time period, Aleister Black. Anyways, so I think it was a way to give a lot of fans. What's up, Mac? Hello. I think it was it was a way to give people closure too about Bray Wyatt, and just learn like why he did the things he did. Like the stitches on his eyes had meaning. I didn't know that. I didn't know there was like Easter eggs going down his pants where he had like he had like names on his pants lined for like his kids and stuff. I was like, oh my. So anyways, I was crying. I was crying at the end. I did not look great. So not that it was about that, but I'm just saying it was heart-wrenching to watch. I was emotional, and they did a good job, you know, because I felt like they did a wonderful job on that documentary, and it really made me realize, you know, it makes you, he was special, and, you know, that's why we love Bray, and it just confirmed it in the documentary of how he was, and that's what it's important for a lot of the people in the business, because he showed how important it is to have meaning, I think, to the reason why you do things. It's like when you have reason why you do things and meaning, people actually like want to tune in and like what's going on with this White Rabbit? Like, what's going on? Why is he doing this? And why is he doing all this other stuff? And his return in Extreme Rules was wonderful. That showed how much Bray is loved too. So Uncle Howdy. So I learned about how the Funhouse was obviously, it was Bray Wyatt's mind. And I was always talking to my friend about Seth Rollins. How did Seth Rollins find the Firefly Funhouse? I'm like, so technically, does that mean that Seth Rollins was got into the head of Bray whenever they were feuding? Is that why he got into the Firefly Funhouse? Anyways, I always wondered, you know, and then when he burned it down, and we're like, what the heck? And so that was interesting. Obviously, they talked about Alexa Bliss. What else so much was in the documentary. Obviously, his brother, Bo Dallas was his name in NXT. Taylor was his name outside. But it showed that he is probably going to take on Bray's creation. And that is beautiful. I was a mess after that. I was like, oh my gosh. Bo Dallas? Or I don't know if he's going to be called I don't know what they're gonna call him, but if he's gonna use his, if he's Uncle Howdy or if he's gonna be the Fiend. And they revealed what the Fiend, the next version of the Fiend was gonna be. But Bray never was able to wear the new mask and all this. Spoiler, I'm sorry, I didn't say that earlier. If you haven't seen the documentary, I'm sorry, I was spoiling a lot. But I thought it was great. You should check it out if you get time. All right, we have so much. Obviously, CM Punk was on Ariel. I always say his name different. Ariel Helwani. He does a great job at interviews and asking questions. I like his podcast. CM Punk was on there. Honestly, it was like almost 2 hours. I was like, this is flying by. I was listening to that podcast, and I thought it was. CM Punk is I don't know. He speaks well, and he grabs your attention, and you listen. So I was listening to that whole interview. A lot of things were talked about on there. So if you get time, you should check that interview out. We have WrestleMania going on this weekend. WrestleMania. There's so much happening. Tonight is Dynamite. I will not be here for Dynamite on the live stream, but hope if you tune into the show, I'm gonna watch it later. Just not live. And then, I don't know if I'll post anything, but I'm excited. I'm ready for Dynasty to come in. That's coming in St. Louis. What's up, Joe Wrestling? How are you doing? So Dynasty is coming to St. Louis. So hopefully yes, thank you, Luke Harper, Brody. That was in the documentary too. That was if you guys been on the stream, Brody Lee. That was another heartbreaking on AEW. I'm just like. And it's wild that they were both in the same faction, And those are probably like the hardest deaths that have occurred. Some of the hardest deaths that recently occurred that hit the wrestling world pretty hard. Thank you, Scuba Steve. Wilson, I am not gonna be streaming. So my schedule is a little different now. I work more nights, so I'm working nights more. Sometimes I work some days, but I usually work at night. So this weekend we have a huge events going on in St. Louis. There's like soccer, I think there's football, there's so much going on Saturday and I don't know if it's on Sunday. So, if I watch it, I'm probably gonna have to watch it after, which I'm excited for WrestleMania because I think somebody asked about Cody. Do you think Cody's finishing his story? That's a great question. Okay, let's talk about this WrestleMania with The Rock coming back and being his old kind of self, but taking on new ways of going about his business with Cody and Roman. Okay, so let's talk about this storyline here. I think it's great. The thing that Roman is kind of being pushed. He's not being pushed aside, but the story right now seems to be more of Rock and Cody right now, where everybody's really interested in seeing what's going to happen with Cody and The Rock. Obviously The Rock left Cody bleeding. What's up, Wrestling Rhapsody? It's been a long time since we streaming. Yeah, Cody? Yeah, you want Cody? Okay, yeah. So this WrestleMania is going to be great. I think. It's 2 nights, Saturday, Sunday, and headlining. The first night, I believe, is going to be that tag match with Seth Rollins and Cody taking on The Rock and Roman. So there's probably going to be some shenanigans with Rollins. What do you guys think? You think Rollins is going to turn on Cody at WrestleMania? And then, okay, is Cody going to win or is Roman going to retain? CM Punk's roaming around with a tricep injury. Who knows what's going to happen with CM Punk? He was just in Chicago and on Raw. Okay, but back to the storyline. So the storyline, that's why it's so hard. What's up, D-Block? The Rock is going to be the new tribal chief? You think so? Okay, so The Rock, he says he's the, the final boss. What's up, Quentin? How are you? People are like, is Roman going to retain because of the whole storyline where I guess the storyline. Maybe they can make it a storyline. You're a Cody crybaby. Scott! So Roman could beat Hulk Hogan's record for longest title reign, but he's like 3rd place. That's like a 3rd, right? So, talking about Damien? Okay, we'll talk about that. You acknowledge the tribal chief, says Mac. Okay, so that's the thing. Do they want Roman to be champion? And then is Roman going to be leaving? Like, is Roman, that? There's so many things that they could go a lot of ways. And that's why this year you really don't know. I mean, a lot of people think Cody will retain or will win, and then some people think Roman's going to keep on going in this storyline with the bloodline. Okay, so like there's some options here. Let's talk about some options. Obviously, you could have Cody win, and then Rock and Roman have. I don't know if Roman's going to be leaving, but if Cody does defeat Roman, I guess there could be stuff going on with The Rock. But does that mean that, if he's not the champion? That's why it's so interesting, because like Roman talking about how he's the guy, talking about how he's the tribal chief, and without his championship, that's like what will Roman do? Like what will Roman do without the title? So that's interesting, because it's like, well, if The Rock and Roman have a match, it's like, are they gonna have a match after, or is Roman and then he leaves? And it's interesting stuff here, because that tribal, the family, the dynasty of the Samoan bloodline, the bloodline story. It's you obviously have Jay, you have Jimmy, we have Solo, we have Paul Heyman's in there too. There's been pictures of Brock Lesnar on the truck. And they said that was important, like those Easter eggs that were dropped. You had John Cena on the truck, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then you had Brock Lesnar. Will Brock Lesnar do something in that match? I mean, he has history with Paul Heyman. Okay, obviously, what's up, Mike? How are you doing? So he has history with Paul Heyman, but also CM Punk has history with Paul Heyman. So let's see here. Who has all the history with Paul Heyman? So we have Roman, CM Punk, and Brock. Is there anyone else that has a little bit of stuff going on with? I don't know, but I feel like they could have some part of that match. And then it's interesting too. Someone brought up Damian Priest. So then we have the whole storyline with Curtis Axel. Oh, okay. What's up, Dana? Okay, so what if he returns? He's like, hey guys, you missed me. Okay, so I'm thinking out loud here. We're kind of like thinking about WrestleMania. This is exciting times with WrestleMania, though. Roman is a ghost champion. You think so, Scoop Steve? Undertaker has a long history with Heyman. That's a good point. That's a great point there, Wilson. So you said Ryback, says Mac. Okay, we're getting okay. If Cody were to win the championship, some people are saying that the story is Cody chasing after the title with Roman, and some people say, well, thank you, I missed you guys too. So some people say, like, well, what if Cody wins the championship, right? What is he gonna do? Like, what's Cody gonna do with the title? Well, there's some options. You got Randy Orton. You have CM Punk. There's a lot of things he could do. I missed everybody. Thank you, my dragons, or just people who watch with me. Whatever you want to be, I don't know. I missed you guys too. Hopefully we'll be back sometime. I know I don't have a timeline here, but you guys are wonderful, and I just thank you for all your nice comments that you say to me too. I don't know, like, distract your squirrel. I'm over here like, stay on topic. But so I will say I am intrigued by. What is the perfect storyline? Because then McIntyre and you have McIntyre and CM Punk. What's going to be the best thing for wrestling? Let's say if Cody wins the title. What are you going to be most intrigued about? Okay, so to be honest, I will think Randy Orton would be a good match, but I don't know if it's going to be is that going to be the feud, or is it going to be, because I know McIntyre doing some great work with CM Punk. So is he going to be, so it could be, honestly, I think CM Punk and Cody could really make some magic in the ring here, because it's where they came from, what their families connect, Dusty. I think that they would probably be the feud for me if I were to think about it. And then so Max says he thinks Seth might turn on Cody, and that is something too. So because Cody has defeated Seth. He's 3-0 with Seth, or Cody defeated Seth while he tore his pec. I love Cody versus Randy, but that match doesn't need the belt, says Wilson. I think it would be great to have a match, like you said, but like you said, Wilson. But I would enjoy that, because obviously Randy on the mic. You have Cody. I think that would be great. But like you said, I don't know if they need the title for that. So I'm thinking, okay, in the chat, there are people who like CM Punk, some people don't care about CM Punk. I'm gonna say, if you follow this channel, you know that I feel like, okay, I mean, I don't agree, like, okay, hold on, let me think of my words here. I feel like everybody has their own, you're not gonna agree with every little thing with people, but you follow, you support, you know, you're intrigued by them, you think they do great at their work, and, you know, they bring eyes to the, you know, it's always, I will say it's always interesting television, and I'm always intrigued, and that's just how it is. I'm not behind, like I said, I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing on my screen. And I'm like, what's CM Punk doing? You know, like, what's he up to? Like, what's he gonna do? So I didn't turn on the man, because, you know, I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on. I'm telling you what I'm watching. and I'm watching what he's saying. So I'm wondering, okay, do you want people in the chat, do you want CM Punk to go after a championship, or do you just want him to just do what he's doing and not really worry about a title? That's something that, what's up, Bo Hunter? That's something that, you know, we could think about. I mean, I wouldn't mind him being a champion, but I don't know if he needs it. Does he need a championship? Is he already cemented he has his career cemented and he's just kind of enjoying what's going on here? I don't know. He seems happy. I saw him on the podcast and he seems well. Did you see Toni Storm? Toni Storm kissed Mariah May on the lips? No, I didn't see that on Collision. You want to see him in the main event, Dana? CM versus Punk, says D-Block. Okay, I think that would be good. I want to see CM Punk. Okay, I'm going to say, I don't know if I can say that on stream here. You want to see him defeat McIntyre? He doesn't need a belt, says Scott. Okay, so this is what's cool. The storylines of wrestling. There's so much you can do here. You have to, you know, what if Stone Cold returns at Mania? I've been hearing rumors. I've been hearing rumors about this tag match, this ladder match. What do you guys think here? What are your thoughts on Mania? Like, what do you think? You think there's going to be some surprises? You think we're going to get Uncle Howdy? CM Punk versus Drew for the working man's title, says Mike Brand. And then I'm hearing that Seth Rollins may take a little time off, which, you know, the man deserves. He's been working hard. He has been working with that title for a while. I think CM Punk is too big for the title, says Mac. Okay, so let's talk Damian Priest here. I know I'm talking a lot here, but I haven't been on for a while, so I feel like I'm a little scattered, but I feel like, you know, we can talk about things. So this is what I'm saying here. There's a lot of talk about how the contract for the Money in the Bank briefcase will expire for isn't it 365 days? So I was wondering, like, okay, so what? Because it's like they don't want to make they don't want to make Damian Priest look weak. So I was wondering, like, what if somebody from, I don't know, like, how does that work here? What if his last night possible to cash in? Is that on Mania night? Because I don't know exactly the timeline here, but what if, like, the Judgment Day, like, I don't know, what if he's, like, locked in a room? Sorry, what if he's, like, locked? What if he's locked in a room and he can't get out and he's like, someone locked the door, you know, because it's like 365 days. What if, and then he finds out, or like, how can I I can't cash in my briefcase because I'm locked in this room or my locker room. And then he's like, open the door. And then they find out, you know, it's one of the Judgment Day. I don't know. Maybe that's not the best storyline, but I'm just saying, how are they going to make him not I don't know if he's going to be successful at his cash in because they don't want to make him look weak. I mean, the Judgment Day has been working very hard, and then if they're you feel like we're geared towards a split here. So what about Finn Balor, Dominic and Rhea, JD? So I don't know what they're going to do here, but I feel like it's going to be unsuccessful. It's from Money in the Bank last year to this year. I know, but what is so when is Money in the Bank? So they get a full year, 365 days. I mean, it's just like, are they gonna hold on to this briefcase again? The women cash in. I feel like so. Literally, the women are just like running to the ring after they win when they win their briefcase. So I guess we're gonna see what's going on with Damien. I mean, Dominic as a heel has done very well, and then we have. Hold on. Speaking of Rhea, what are your thoughts on her feud with Becky? Okay, I think this match. I honestly think we're going to get a wonderful match from these women. Two big. What's a good word here? Top women of the company. I feel like, is Becky like passing the torch to Rhea too to like cement Rhea Ripley as one of the top? What's up, Brandon Stevens? I don't know. You know, I've liked Becky Lynch. I have her book. I like her. I like her work. I was big on the year whenever she was Becky Two Belts and the build and you guys know if you've been on this channel, you know I support Becky Lynch and I like Rhea Ripley too. So, you know, and I feel like Rhea Ripley may go over and then cement her legacy and then maybe. You know, it's just NXT Stand and Deliver. That's true. We got NXT. It's the main event. Carmelo and Trick. I think that's the main event. So it's gonna be interesting to see because right now let's build in the women's division. You know, what's up, Jose? People are both companies right now are trying to figure out how they're gonna build the women's division. You got Bayley. You know, Bayley was huge, instrumental in the pandemic era. Her and Sasha, workhorse, really captivating. If you watched, what is it? Did you see Trick Williams? I did see that I saw the clip of that Wrestling Rhapsody of Trick Williams. So, I think. What do you guys think? Bayley's gonna go over on Io? I think Bayley wins. I think Bayley walks out as champion. I could be wrong, but I think Bayley will win. So I do think. Okay, I know I'm scattered here too, but okay, let's talk Seth Rollins and McIntyre. Okay, CM Punk is going to be guest on commentary. Who do you think is walking out as champion? Is it McIntyre, or do you think? I just don't think Seth Rollins is retaining. I feel like it could be either Damian Priest or McIntyre, or maybe Seth Rollins will retain. There's those three options. Will we see RaNbles? I haven't done RaNbles. Wait, my identity stands. Who's RaNbles? I don't know. Clark Kent. I'm just kidding, obviously. Clark Kent's over here. But Drew. Okay, I think Tiffany Stratton will get involved in one of those women's matches. You think so, Mike? Drew. Okay, Max says Drew. I will not be upset if Drew McIntyre wins. I'm happy for Drew McIntyre because he has been coming to life, I don't know, okay, let's see here. I guess his promos he's been really upping his game on that. He's been showing, doing funny stuff on social media. So I think that is interesting. I think Drew McIntyre is doing great work. I've liked McIntyre. I remember when he won his first title, obviously the Royal Rumble, when he won the Royal Rumble in 2020, and then the pandemic happened, or 2019. I'm like, what is the years? I literally get so confused about ever since the pandemic. I'm still thinking it's like 2020, 21. We're in 2024. Oh man, can you believe it? 2024. Wow, 2024. Okay. So, but obviously Drew McIntyre won the championship without a crowd. And that's a big story of Drew McIntyre winning the title in front of a crowd because, you know, that pop. I love a good pop. You know me, I like a good pop. That is something that I enjoy. You know, it's just something about it when the crowd is roaring for you and you get those goosebumps. And I just think the best pops lately, obviously CM Punk getting a wonderful Survivor Series reaction. That was awesome. Some of the best pops recently. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I know CM Punk was a great pop. Edge actually had a nice pop in. Let's talk about Edge. Adam Copeland, new TNT champion. Congratulations, Adam Copeland. That when the crowd sang his song, that's when you're like, yes. he's got a great song. And then I posted too. I was like, I'm trying to think about AEW and trying to think about how can we get people to be, like invested in these storylines. And I've watched AEW from the beginning, and we've everything goes through its ups and downs, obviously, and you just really root for both companies to be successful because you want wrestling to be successful, right? So it's like, how can we get these storylines and get people intrigued? I mean, obviously, MJF gone is hard. You have Kenny Omega gone is hard. But incoming, we have Will Ospreay, Okada, and then you have Mercedes Moné. Okay, I miss the Doctor. I do. That stuff though. I'm trying to remember, like, what is the stuff that I really like was just because I remember there was a point where AEW was kind of like they were coming out with some great stuff, and you're just like, I remember the storylines that I think I gravitated towards was CM Punk and MJF, and then also MJF and Cody. I thought their stuff was great, and I also thought Chris Jericho and Cody, whenever it first started, like Cody and Jericho, whenever they like brawled in the crowd, and then I believe it was like DDP. Then he was like bringing out like Jake the Snake Roberts. That stuff was really that's where it was at, and obviously I like Sting. So I don't know what. Nice to see you, Scuba Steve. Take care of yourself too. Jade Cargill's on SmackDown. Yes, congratulations to Jade Cargill. So I'm trying to think about what is your most intriguing storyline? What is the most intriguing storyline at AEW right now? Is it Swerve and Samoa Joe? Congratulations to Samoa Joe. I know he's the champion. When I was reacting to it though, I didn't really give him his props because I was just like, what's happening with MJF? I enjoy Samoa Joe. So, and I also want I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's going to be Mercedes Moné. Did they already say who's going to be her first feud? I like the Doctor. I've said that many times. I like Britt Baker. I do like Jamie Hayter. Maybe a returning Jamie Hayter and getting some of that old Dynamite feel back. Maybe that. What's up, Donna? How are you? You've been sick? Oh, don't worry. I haven't really been streaming. That's probably why you haven't been in the chat. Don't worry. I haven't really been doing live streams lately. This is kind of like a spur of the moment. I didn't know if anybody was going to even show up. So thank you for being here with me. You said there's a severe lack of consistency, Wrestling Rhapsody. Okay, so I think my peak time when I was just like, oh my gosh, I think it was when Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debuted on the same night, and then you had like Punk and MJF having their match, and I was just like, this is just like I felt like that was one of the best. O'Brien, the Usos, 2010, Bray Wyatt was in NXT and CM Punk was in ECW. I mean, that's how I was introduced to Punk, was ECW. I was like, who's this long-haired gentleman with the X's and then like the yellow tights and the long hair? I remember that. And then apparently people, I didn't really know a lot about people who were outside of WWE in like the early 2000s and like the 90s. I didn't know that. Like I didn't know about the internet and the dirt sheets. I was kind of young. I didn't really know about all that. And then, hearing about, like, some people knew that. I'm like, how did people know that? I remember when Taz debuted. I think people were talking about when Taz debuted. And they were like, I think people knew Taz was showing up whenever. Who did he face? Kurt Angle? And he, like, tapped him out. And then the referee was like, no, you choked him out. You can't use a chokehold. And it was like he can't use his finisher. I thought that I liked when Taz debuted. Obviously, Jericho debuted, and I think people knew about that. I didn't know about that. And then I'm glad you're feeling better, Donna. That's what's cool is that when I first started watching like X-Pac showing up, I didn't know he wrestled in WCW until later on. I mean, I watched some WCW. I mainly didn't really watch the very end because I didn't really know like some of the stuff. Like I think I stopped watching when it was like. I didn't see everything. I think I knew who the champion was, but I remember, like, obviously the Filthy Animals. I really liked Conan. I liked Ray. I did like Disco. I thought he was good. Disco Fever. And then I liked Kevin Nash, Sting, DDP. We talked about this. It's like I'm repeating myself over and over again. Lex Luger, Scott Hall, and who else did I like that was random? That I like Billy Kidman. I remember WWE's ECW. I hated Punk, but he was always the reason I watched the show. He's obviously made me a fan since. So yeah, like CM Punk had like a big fan base in Ring of Honor. Are you still upset what happened to Bayley when she was booted out of her faction? She was kicked out of her own faction. Your 26th birthday is next month, Samson. Well, happy early birthday. Yeah, Bayley, Dakota Kai. What's going on, Dakota? Cheering on Bayley. The 90s, 2000 was such a good time to be alive as a wrestling fan. I mean, it was. I mean, you had like China, you had New Age Outlaws. I remember Chris Hero was on Borders on Australia. I don't really know about that. The Australia. I've always wanted to travel there, to Australia. So okay, they think Grayson Waller, right, and Rhea Ripley. Okay, so WrestleMania is this weekend. Why would anybody trust Kai? Okay, well, I wanted to come on here and say hi and tell you that, thank you for everybody who's still here and coming in and saying what's up. I know I haven't been showing out, but my schedule has been a little different, and I'm trying to get everything back to where I can consistently stream. It's not gonna be too soon, but hopefully we can get back to having some watch-alongs, right? So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Is awesome. Like seriously, you guys with your comments and keeping me updated too on stuff. I can't. There's so much wrestling. It's on all the time, which is great for people, but it's just every second you have something new happening where there's a new story or social media is just wild. But this weekend is pretty cool. Thank you, Scott. Tonight you have Dynamite. This weekend, WrestleMania. Let's freaking go. You have NXT, people talking about that. I think this weekend should be cool. And then obviously the Monday after Mania is always a big deal. So I hope to talk to you soon. What's up? My name is not Earl. I hope to talk to you guys soon again. Maybe we'll figure out some way to talk about Mania. You just liked it. Wow, thank you. Thanks for being here and chatting with me, Mac. So I keep saying so. There's some times when I go back and I watch some of my when I'm talking and I'm just like saying the same. I say the same word over and over again, and I'm like, okay, we gotta work on that. We gotta work on your and like he just like hit him with the chair. I'm over here like, see, because when you're explaining something, I talked to somebody about that. I was like, I have to watch how I'm like. I said it did it again. I'm over here. I repeat the same word sometimes. I'm like, that was just wild. It was wild. Everybody's like, okay, think of some new words. Let's expand your vocabulary. Let's expand your horizons. Let's figure this out. Okay, I'm gonna work on it. Guys. So I'm working on my talking. Working on my talking skills. I'm sorry about that. And working on some things, I guess, right? Everybody should be working on stuff, right? Always room for improvement. Always way to get up there better. All right, but let's just thanks for being here. Do you remember the Undertaker versus Triple H, the Hell in a Cell special? Oh, you talk about the end of the era match with Shawn Michaels. People love that. The end of the eras, man. They always get to you. I was just talking about something too. What was one of the best pops? People say the Hardys. You guys remember that? That was 7 years ago when the Hardys returned to WrestleMania. You think we're gonna get some pops over the weekend? I hope so. I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'm not gonna be mad about it. Like, okay. Have you listened to Beyonce's country album Country Carter yet? I haven't listened to the album. I have heard her country song. I mean, I feel like a lot of people have been singing that song. I feel like I'm not as hip on things anymore, I'm like, what? So I forget, somebody said something and I was like, is that new lingo? I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm over here like, oh, cool. Or you just like play it off, you're like, oh, cool, that's great. And then you're like, what did they say? And then you're just moving on, like whatever. Like they probably don't even know what I'm saying, so we're doing well. A lot of rambling here, so like me too. Says, you see, you get what I'm saying? I feel like I've covered a lot of things going on in the wrestling world. Who's gonna be the next champion in AEW? Do you think it's gonna be Swerve? What's going on with it? There's a lot of things going on with Adam Cole. I mean, what's going on with Adam Cole? Yeah, when's MJF coming back? I miss that man. I miss MJF, and I'm trying to feel like what's a feud we could get here. I think Adam Cole and MJF, when MJF returns and Adam Cole have a match, I think that'll be interesting. But all right, everybody, I've been talking for like 40 minutes. You guys are probably ready to go. I think is Dynamite starting soon? I'm like your pre-show to Dynamite, like the Fuse. All right, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Seriously though, I appreciate it. Like everybody being in here and saying, hey, you know, I just came. This was like a impromptu stream, but yeah, everybody knows all the information too. You guys do your homework. You do your research. That's good. So thanks for being here. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope you enjoy your wrestling. Hopefully we'll come back and get to talk to everybody and hang out again. But you guys are wonderful, so thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. I really do. Well, oh my dragon.